For the Monday, June 8th, Orleans Elementary School Committee at 3:30. Noting in attendance, we welcome Ron Collins as our newest member to the Orleans Committee. And alongside him, we have Katie McNamara, Ian Mack, Ginger Marks, Sassy Roche. And in addition, we are central office leadership heavy today at this meeting. And along with me, our Assistant Superintendent, Vicki Saldana, our newest member of our leadership team, Assistant Superintendent for Finance and Operations, Beth Rigobuto, and Matt Kravitz, who's also here, and myself as Superintendent. Because of the sequence of this meeting falling after the elections as a superintendent, I'm going to open the meeting. Just a couple of housekeeping matters. First off, as required by the open meeting law, the district is videotaping this meeting. Anyone else intending to video or audio tape the meeting must inform the chair, that would be I. We have a heavy agenda today, and so we'll move right to it. And we are going to start with school committee reorganization to begin. And then following that, we'll move on to the agenda items. So with that, I'm looking for a nomination for the chair for the 2026-27 school year for the Orleans Elementary School Committee.
I'd like to nominate Cassandra Roach.
Thank you, Ian. So we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a second? Okay. Second, any other motions or any other nominations for chair this afternoon? That would really be interesting, wouldn't it?
I would have taken
But,
I'm like, okay.
all right, we have a motion second. Is there any further discussion? All right, so seeing none, we will need a roll call vote for this. And we'll do you last. Ron?
Ron Collins.
Ian?
Ian Mack, yes.
Ginger?
Ginger Marks, yes?
Katie? Kathy, sorry?
Kathy McNamara.
Kathy McNamara, yes, and,
Yes.
okay. It's all yours.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Are there any agenda changes today?
There are none this afternoon.
So just remember, everyone, to bring this mic up to you. So this is regarding public comment. Public comment is permitted for up to 3 minutes per speaker on matters within the committee's authority. Under Mass Open Meeting Law, the committee cannot deliberate or respond to topics not included on this agenda, but may schedule the matter for future meetings. Did I forget something?
Do we have to do the rest of the reorganization?
Yes,
Oh.
but I had to say that.
Sounds good.
Don't I say that first?
Sure.
Gail, you're supposed to be giving me the signal. Okay, all right, reorganization, everybody. Okay, so I am looking for a nomination for the vice chair position.
I'd like to nominate Kathy McNamara.
And a second?
Second?
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Do we have to do a roll call?
No.
And then I can just do these all down. Okay, so Kathy, congratulations. Thanks. Team. Okay, so the warrant authorizer last year was Ginger. Ginger, would you like to continue to do that?
Yes.
Okay, and we need an alternate. Would you like to do that, Ron?
Yes.
All right, so we'll just do a little, ease you into things.
Thank you.
And then, when you're not here, we give you everything. All right, so the next subcommittee is the central office budget. I would happily do that if no one else would like to do that.
So moved.
Oh, yeah, we're not, thanks. All right, negotiations. So, is there anyone that would like to be on the negotiation team? Well, we can ponder this and revisit it in the fall, because we don't really need to have this figured out.
I'll certainly be interested in it if I can take something else off of if I moved away from school council I would look at that.
So could you be on it? Negotiating if it's,
That's true. Never mind. Take that
sorry,
back.
so
No, that's a
close,
good idea.
right?
Yeah, too bad.
All right, well, stay tuned.
Okay.
'Cause it's a rewarding opportunity. Transportation, Ginger, you were, I'm not used to over there.
I know, it's weird.
Do you want to continue on with that?
Yes,
What about Behavioral Task Force?
yes.
All right. Superintendent evaluation, is anyone, would you like to
I'll
do
stay.
that?
I'm on that now, so that's fine.
All right, that's Kathy. I mean, it's a little late, but does everyone, I printed this if you needed to write it down. Does anyone need this? This is just the blanks.
Can you just
I'll
send it
take
to?
one.
Sure.
Okay.
And then what did Kathy just say?
Kathy is going to do,
Superintendent evaluation?
yep,
Thank you.
policy. Ian, you want to stay over there?
Please, thank you.
The efficiency and regionalization, Gail has been our person there. It would be great if Gail could stay there. Gail has agreed that she would stay, but I would need everyone's blessings on that. How's everyone feel about Gail staying?
That's, I mean, it's legit, it's legal. We can,
Yes,
fantastic, great. I'm all for it.
Gail, you're on the scene. The Cape Cod Collaborative, we have Kathy. You want to stay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
PT liaison, you know it's my favorite, but I'll,
I'm gonna take it away from you.
thank you. School council liaison, it was you, Ian?
It was, I've honestly had a hard time making the meetings with my afternoons. So I don't know if there's anybody else. I love doing it. I just, schedule-wise, in the middle of the day,
It's hard.
it's a tough lift I know it's only once a month, but.
Oh, it's
This-
once a month? Okay, that's what I was gonna ask.
Yep.
So once a month, when is that meeting usually?
Typically,
Thursday,
the third Thursday at, what, 2:30 or yeah,
2:30 to 3:30, 3:45.
I can do that.
yeah.
Can you do that?
Thanks, Ginger.
Thanks, Ginger.
You're welcome.
I'm assuming that the fire rescue station will continue on with their committee, is that correct?
Yep, as far as I know,
Continue to stay on that? All right.
definitely.
So we have community preservation project, but I don't think it's that. I think it's the, what was the rec one? The one that you were on, Ian, that was,
That was a study, though, that board, the rec board. Well, put me down for this one, because whatever it turns into, I'll stay with it. Does that work?
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll keep you there, but is that regionalization, I mean, that, recreation,
Been partially, they've partially funded it for, the design of the new areas around Eldridge Parkway and all of that.
so that's
Whatnot.
kind of not really they're not meeting, or?
At this point, I think it's in the town's hand, I
Okay.
believe.
We haven't done anything like that in years, so.
No, but the board that Katie Cole, has been working on for community funds to raise to basically redo all around Eldridge Parkway that they presented.
Yeah, that's already funded and.
Yeah, it's funded and I just don't know.
Okay,
If
well,
that continues in some vein, because I know the entire project didn't get funded, so if they
okay,
continue it in some way, I'll stand with it.
okay. We'll just leave you there. Union 54 voting members was myself, Kathy, and Ginger. Last year, I will continue to do that. You guys up for that?
Yes.
Continuing? We do need alternates, so would you two like to be the alternates?
Yes.
And we'll give you more details, Ron, on everything, so
Okay.
you'll know where to go. I think that's everything. Is that everything? Let me just double check. All right, so then officially, I'd like to take a vote. Orleans School Committee Reorganization, 2026-27, June 8th, 26. I'm looking for a vote,
Order a motion.
a motion, and then a vote.
Motion to approve all the appointments as discussed for 26-27.
Second.
All in favor? Any discussion? Wonderful. Thanks, team. Okay. We're going to go right into priority business. Is that you?
Yes, item A.
Yes, please.
Sure. And we have a couple of retirements that are forthcoming from OES. And if I may, with the willingness of the chair, just have a short couple of words to say about them. In the audience today, we have Kim, who's here, and that's it, right?
Nope.
Or, there's two. So,
Bremer and
Lynn,
Richard are both here.
so three, how about Elaine? We have a couple, total of 3 retirees, correct? Is that right?
Yes.
Starting first with Lynn Walsh, who is retiring after 11 years of service with the Nauset Public Schools. Her dedication and cheerful demeanor, creating a nurturing environment where students felt valued each and every day. As I've come to learn, she has provided essential support, especially for those with significant disabilities, fostering trusting relationships through her compassionate approach. And indeed, the OES community, very grateful for her years of commitment. Thank you so much, Lynn Walsh, for your time at OES. We have also Kim Brumer, who's here with us as well, an extraordinary master teacher who is joyfully retiring after, are you ready for this, 35 years of inspiring service at OES. Her deep dedication to her students and the school community has truly set a high standard for all. Kim has a remarkable talent for nurturing curiosity and celebrating each student's unique identity. Through her personalized instruction and care, she promotes interpersonal skills and respect, encouraging her students to embrace their own strengths and differences. By empowering them to take ownership of their learning, she fosters independence and resilience. Kim's steadfast commitment, empathy, and innovative methods have not only elevated educational standards at OES, but also made a lasting impact on our entire community. Indeed, OES will cherish her incredible legacy for many, many years to come. Thank you so much, Kim, for your service again at OES.
Tony?
And Tony. Tony Sanzo, I hope I have that correct, is also preparing for retirement, and we celebrate his 12-year journey as head custodian, recognizing his outstanding dedication to our school community. His commitment to the health, safety, and well-being of everyone within the school community has set a high standard and fostered a warm, welcoming environment. Tony's thoughtful actions and positive spirit have made him a role model for students and a cherished colleague amongst staff. As he embarks upon his retirement, we express our heartfelt gratitude for his contributions and wish him happiness in this new chapter of his life. Thank you again, Tony, for all of your years of service to OES. Mrs. Richards is here as
Sure.
well. But I-
He's here as supporter.
She's just here as a BFF.
BFF.
There too.
BFF. Thank you for that. I think that concludes that part.
Well, that makes me happy. I'm like, everyone's leaving. Woo!
For now.
All right, chair report. Of course, I have to thank you so much for everything you've done for the schools. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
The chair report on the last week, we attended a presentation regarding the Efficiency and Regionalization Grant. This collaborative effort of so many brought great information and lots of potential choices for the future. The process was extensive and complex, highlighting the committee's due diligence and the commitment of each town to shared goals. The effort underscores the importance of regionalization and efficiency for the future of our educational systems and brought great depth of information. It was a lot of information to digest for many of you that were there. Glenn's email and Kim's email will be available in my report, but knewman@town.orleans.ma.us and brandg@nausetschools.org. You guys are taking questions till the end of this month.
That's right. Yes.
With as much feedback as that we could pass along. It's an overwhelming amount of information. I think it's kind of hard to digest. But they're willing and able to take as many questions as we can send along, so. School choice applications are available for Orleans Elementary School. The interested families can find the application at the Orleans Elementary School website in the parent-student section. Please note, applications are due
By the 12th, June 12th.
by June 12th. So if you have any questions, you can call the elementary school
No, the,
central office.
office.
Call central office, but those applications are available at the website. Also, just an update on the Early Education Fund. I reached out to the Health Department for an update. We have not connected yet, but according to the website, applications for funding are currently closed as they have reached capacity. During that efficiency and regionalization report, it indicated that there were 42 applicants, which is a large amount of applicants. I'm going to continue to follow up to get more information, but that's kind of where we're at right now. And finally, I'm not going to cry, but maybe I will. The seniors did their walkthrough. It is the most special thing ever to have the seniors walk through OES. And clearly, I can't talk about it, so it was great. Okay, that's it for me, because I'm crying. All right, principal's report?
yes, thank you very much. Thank you. I hope that the report just gave everyone a snapshot of really just how much is happening in Orleans in the last month of school. All year long, we, try to foster as much engagement and connection with learning and have it be active learning, but it really just gets elevated at the end of the year. And I'm proud of the teachers for really connecting all the hands-on experiences to standards, to common knowledge, to just making everything real and connected. I want to recognize Chuck Hollander Essick. He conducted a wonderful concert for our 3 through 5 grades. It had a country theme, and kids came in big cowboy hats and boots, and it had a kind of an energy that the kids, I think, brought forth themselves because they really liked the music and they were super proud of themselves. I also want to recognize our Girls on the Run team. I don't know if you know what the weather was like that day, but it was torrentially raining and high winds and absolutely miserable. And our girls showed up, their running buddies showed up, their parents showed up. They ran their 5K in Boston. They were shivering to the bone, but they were so excited to go to McDonald's or Burger King on the ride home. Made it all worthwhile. But the dedication that the coaches give to this, Stonely Caswell was the head coach. Unfortunately, she was unable to attend because she popped out a baby a little early. And Stonely just had an amazing commitment to ensuring that this happened, and she made it happen. We also had coaches Carrie Ewan, Amy Christopher, Rita Long. They each week worked with the kids because there's a leadership component to it that really, I think, supports the development of the girls. And then Erin Legassi came with us and was a coach for one of the students, a running buddy. It is a pretty amazing experience to see our school, our little school, represented on this big, large stage, 7,000 girls maybe, in the middle of Boston. Just a really proud moment. Mrs. McNamara was there with her daughter.
Oh, no, her dad went with her.
Actually, yes. You were there in spirit.
I was.
So that was just I think it's something we support, and it's well worth it. So it's amazing. I want to recognize this time of year the families all year long. They have to do the hard work of homework, baths, getting kids up early, feeding them, remembering everything on a schedule. And because of the support of our families, we're able to really have that partnership and engagement with ensuring that our children's journey through childhood is strong and healthy. And I really, when we have events at the school, we're full. All the families are all there. It really shows you that it just takes a connection of both parties, the school and families, to make a wholesome education. They do an amazing job. We have the most responsive families, and I deeply appreciate their commitment. Our teachers, obviously, are committed and dedicated. And just a moment to thank the school committee, because you ensure that we can do what we do best. You advocate for us, you support us, you are out there ensuring that we have the materials, the resources, the infrastructure, the expertise. When kids need things, we can provide it for them because you are ensuring that we can. So just thank you. It's been another phenomenal year, and I'm proud of where we're landing and excited about starting already. So thank you.
Any questions?
A side note, the public participation, my wife signed up to participate in Field Day coming up, and Mr. Schwab said, we got a whole team of parents coming. He's like, oh, what? He said, I don't want to say no, but that's how many parents signed up to come. Like, I mean, so that's awesome, just to see so many people want to be involved in it. It's
Yep,
really cool.
special.
Yep.
I mean, Girls on the Run, though, was an extraordinary, I mean, it was monsooning.
It rained last year, too.
Yeah.
It's just a Saturday thing.
But it cleared up last year.
Cleared up, yeah. It wasn't as monsoony, but it's not dry.
All right, moving on to the superintendent report, please.
Sure. There is a memo that accompanies this in your packet. 3 items of update, and I'll just quickly go in order. The first, we have a draft of the school committee meeting calendar for the 2026-27 school year. You'll find links to this. Thank you to Jen Snowden, who's been working hard to try and put this rather large document together with a lot of various moving parts with all the meeting dates. We've done our best to try and mirror the days of the week for all of our meetings, the region, and all of our 4 elementary committees in a similar pattern for the joint school committee. The one noted change through some discussion with SASE's chair is the shift, the proposed shift for the Orleans school committee meeting from 3:30 until 5 on Mondays. That's really the one overarching change. It's not here for a vote tonight, but just really for feedback and informational purposes. It's on all of the calendars, all of the agendas in this month of June. And if our committee members are good with the proposed calendar, then we'll lock that down and we'll certainly move forward to disseminate it as quickly as we can. The next is the strategic plan update. A lot of work continues around the strategic plan. As you know, the goal with the contributions and participation of many members, many stakeholders, including Elaine as one of our many representatives, they've been hard at work. I think we've had 5, maybe 6 meetings now. We have one more meeting planned for June the 15th, and the goal is to still have a general draft done by the end of June, fine-tuning of that plan over the summer. And then right now, it's the intention to bring that to the joint school committee meeting on Wednesday, September the 2nd, for consideration and for approval. So lots of great things taking shape with that. I just wanted to give an update to the committee. And finally, speaking about sort of planning ahead, we happy to share that we're also looking, our leadership team is looking to take advantage of the upcoming summer time period. We have a number of dates set with leadership retreat planning. Tuesday, June the 30th is our year-end wrap-up and reflection with the team. And then we are looking ahead to August 3rd through 5th, in which we have 3 days set aside for this year's annual district leadership summer retreat. So this is an important opportunity, as you might imagine, and we'll have a number of new leadership team members, of course, as part of the group. And so we're looking forward to having a reset and getting prepared to launch strong next school year. I'm happy to take any questions if members of the committee have on any of those items this afternoon.
So just a couple things regarding this school committee meeting calendar. So I just want to make sure, was that 5 o'clock change okay with everybody? I know I heard from you guys. Is that all right with you, Ron? Will that work?
Yeah, that's
Kathy, will
fine.
that work? And just one other thing, that May 10th meeting for OES, that Monday, that is town meeting usually.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we could do, the previous meeting before that is April 12th. So technically, we could go the week prior, or we could stay tuned about that date. I just wanted to make sure that we knew that May 10th is probably a town meeting.
Okay, I'll take note of that and pass
And
it
that,
along.
and you can pass along that 5 is fine. And that was double-checked here. We're not overlapping any meetings, because sometimes your meeting,
They never start before 5.
but ours will be at 5 now.
But, I mean, there's no set schedule for it at this point.
Okay.
So we haven't met since town meeting. We don't have one until I think the 15th,
Okay,
so.
okay, that's just.
I can help adjust if I need to.
Okay. I just wanted
Usually
to.
one of the schedulers from Kim's office is here doing it too, so she can see whether or not the room is available
Okay,
based on that, so.
okay.
Don't worry about it.
All right, that's all I had.
Thank you.
All right, moving along to the policy reading, please.
So, 2 meetings ago, I believe we did the first reading of IJ, maybe it's 3, meeting sections I, J, K, and L, which was the final sections, as we spoke about, of the complete review that was done by MASC of the policy committee. At the time, our committee had no questions. It was going to be voted on at the joint meeting, but there was a pause there, so we're bringing it back here. Nothing has changed as far as I, J, K, and L as you read it in form. So if we can go ahead, if there is no changes, ask for that. I'd like to ask for a vote to accept those in form as they are. Those then will go live on our site as the current policy. And then after that, we can start amending said current policies to what we need to continue to do to move forward. So that's what we'd like. We need a motion to approve sections I, J, K, and L as read in form. This is the same information you got in the first read. We didn't get any formative feedback from any of the committees as far as that goes. So it looks like job well done on the predecessors there, on the policy committee, the policy review that occurred.
So before we take that vote, just so you know, Ron, just like, I'll try to do cliff notes. So for the last 2 years, our big policy guide, it was one of Superintendent Clenchey's like real attack. All the policies have been revisited, either updated, made for NASA policies, made for MASC, which is Massachusetts Association of School Committee Members, or DESE, the Department of Education. So this has been this process to update these, and there's a subcommittee that Ian is on. So these are just presenting, so they come to us, we review them, and they come in form, which means we're just reviewing these sections, and then come the fall, will we have them all done? Will there be?
Once this gets approved, you'll see the entire policy manual be online. We host it on the MASC website. So our entire policy manual right now, if you go on the NASC website, click on it, it will bring you to a second-party site, which is hosted by MASC, and that gives us all of our current policy as we have written it and approved it as a body of school committees. So right now, all of these are going to each individual town, Brewster, Eastham, Wellfleet, et cetera, us, and will be approved. Once that's done, the changes that are noted in these sections will then be posted live. Our policies then will be quote-unquote current as to the last review that we had. The review was to also, like Sassy said, bring us up to legal the requirements in some of our policies that we were behind. There's policies in our manual that hadn't been touched in over a decade or more. I mean, there was stuff in there from 97 and stuff, so it's like, so that moving forward, and the policy committee's coming up with a timeline to make sure that it stays a little fresher than that. We don't get that far behind the 8 ball again. So that's where we're at right now.
Thank you.
Yep.
So we're looking for a motion for that policy second reading.
So moved. I have to say it?
All in favor? Any discussion? Opposed? All right, it is approved. Okay, now going to the policy first reading. Who is in charge of this? Is it you?
Well, Vicky, I think sort of spearheaded a lot of the verbiage in here. We have met on it, and the committee discussed all of these and spoke to the changes. I don't know if members got to look through them. This wasn't a huge lift for read-wise, but I think Vicky or I could answer any questions that are coming up. Some of the biggest changes there, the student absence and excuses are sort of bringing us up again to the legal requirements, what the state requires us to do. So that's reflected in the policies. You know, none of this is a first read. None of the things that are in here are set in stone right now, so, you know, we can,
Yeah, I think we're trying to do a first read, so our plan is to bring it to the joint committee at the fall meeting for a second read. So the policies can be updated. Some of them are part of the sections IJKL that were just approved, but we're in the process of updating them to better meet our district processes and protocols. I just wanted to go through a couple of them, if that's okay, just because there've been some shifts. I just want to make sure that the school committees and the communities are just aware. So as Ian mentioned, the first one is policy JH, which is student absences and excuses. This policy was really to update our current practices and to ensure that our practices are aligned across the district. School attendance is required by Massachusetts law, and we have pretty strict guidelines that we have to follow for students between the ages of 6 and 16. The updated process includes more clarification around excused and unexcused absences. Again, it's just to bring some clarity for families and to also ensure that our processes are consistent and are aligned with the Massachusetts law. I've also added some clarification around school vacations, for not school vacations, for families that take vacation during school days because of the law. If students are absent for more than 15 school days, they do have to be withdrawn from school. So I just wanted to make sure that was reflected in our policy and our process guidelines as well. Also, according to the Massachusetts law, the principals or their designees are required to send a letter if a student is absent for more than 5 consecutive days. Again, that's a requirement. I've included the letter for you to view in the memo. And it basically just talks about the families that your student has been absent, your child has been absent for 5 or more consecutive days, and that we're inviting the families to come and to meet with our school, the school principal, and any other staff that might help support. It's really an opportunity not to be punitive, but to really work together with the families to ensure that our kids are able to attend school, and that if there's any barriers that families face, that we're able to have those conversations. But legally, we're required to send the letter. But like, again, it's really intended to be a collaborative process and a support for families. I've also included in the memo a letter that we're planning to send out to all our families in June, just explaining the regulations, the law, and some of these changes, just to give them kind of more notice so they can kind of prepare as well before this takes into effect in September. So our policy JH just kind of captures and makes sure that, like I said, that our policies and our processes are aligned. Are there any questions about that particular one?
Yes. I noticed in earlier documents, there was a change to parent to guardian, and in these newer ones, it's parent to caregiver. Is there a legal difference between a guardian and a caregiver?
I think that language was adapted just to match with the mask language that they use. So there's no particular difference. I think that's just more to match what they're using.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Our next one, the student records one, JRA, also complements the policy KI. And that's really, again, just to, once again, just align our processes with our policies in terms of school visitors. So our current policy just needed to be updated. There were things in there around students being able to invite visitors to school, which really is not something that would happen. So those things had to be kind of taken out and amended. We also figured that there's new processes that have been released by DESE, the Department of Education, over this past 6 months in response to some of the activities that have been occurring with ICE agents. So I thought it was really important to make sure that our policies and guidelines kind of capture those instances as well. Even though they apply to any visitors to school in terms of safety and security, we did include that added step as well. So in the memo, I've included a link to the operation guidelines, which will be included in our staff handbook that we'll be developing this summer. But it really just delineates, again, our processes around access to student records, what legally we can or cannot release. It also delineates more clearly what are legally around accesses to school premises. So ensure that entry is restricted, that the doors are secure. Just kind of a lot of things that we do right now is just captured in the document. And again, it's just to help with consistency. There's processes that we included around like questionings or removal of students. So if you do have an agent of the law that comes in a request to have students removed, like what is our kind of legal process for that? Dismissal of students, response to parent guardian detention, if that ever happens, and what do we do in terms of judicial orders and subpoenas? We haven't had any incidents yet, and hoping that we will not. But just in case, we thought it was really important to make sure that we have our processes really aligned and clear. So if it does happen, everybody knows what are the steps we should be taking. In the memo, I've also included just NOSIT visitor signs that we've shared with all of the schools and just asked them to post it if they don't have anything up already. And again, that just kind of really clearly just explains that, any visitors to school just have to sign in and check in with the front office. And then the last thing that we have created, which I've shared with you too, is just more of the NOSIT. We created a visual guide because the operation guidelines are pretty meaty. So we thought, if you're trying to quickly find information, especially for front office administrative assistants, you're not going to be going through all the operation guidelines. So the visual guide just kind of captures what the processes should be if anybody were to come to the school, what the admittance is. Basically, rule number 1 is just call central office, you know what I mean? And we would kind of help support. But these three documents are, again, support the policy KI and JRA in terms of visitors to school and student records. Any questions around that I could take about those?
So just as a side note, the policy KI, if you guys did read it, is, there are, especially in the elementary school level, there's a lot of community participation there and visitors coming to the school. We really, on the policy committee level, we had a pretty good discussion about it. I think it's really important that everybody gets checked in. It has been done different ways at different places at different times. We have if it's during the school day and kids are in the building, you have to get a visitor's pass. And that's, it is going to be a little different. And, we've done it before where, parents have been chaperoned to a classroom and just, you come in, everyone meets, and we go and watch a great thing, and that's awesome. But it's the day and age now where we need to have, for the security of our children, everyone needs to be checked in. We have a system, I think it's called Raptor ID. It scans their ID. It would flag any issues. Things come up during the school year, parent rights, other issues happen. It would give us a heads up prior to an issue happening inside the school. So that's where this policy is also really trying to align the entire district on that and really sort of keeping the student safety in the forefront. So.
Absolutely. And the last two, just really quickly, the IHBF, which is Home and Hospital Tutorial, it really just had one very minor change where we took off Director Kravitz's name from the policy and just added the position because we thought that was probably more responsive in terms of not having to, and then the homeschooling policy, it's again, it aligns with our homeschooling process that we have implemented this year, which I've shared with the committee some meetings ago, and it really just talks about that the homeschooling process is redirected to central office. It was earlier sitting at the school base in terms of approval. And I would think it just kind of helps, again, to ensure that processes are consistent to have it centralized, so it goes through my office. And talks about just like the process in terms of like how homeschool is approved in terms of from the families, how we monitor progress, like how do we request progress monitoring from the families at the end of the school year. So, and it gives a little bit more clarity around what the process is. And again, it aligns with our guidelines that I have shared with this committee a little while ago. And did I miss anything about those two?
No, we covered all the bases. And some of these are gonna be, in the guide that you're developing for staff and students, some of these policies will be referred to, in there, but it will be noted in the guide saying pending approval from the school committee. So these guides will be printed prior to, but referring to these policies that we're looking at now, pending approval by the joint school committee, because we're not going to meet until, what,
Oh,
August? Yeah?
yeah, like, I think so, like first week of
Yeah.
September or something.
Yeah, so that's where that is. So any questions, please just refer them. We can talk about them now that you have, if you've already read them, or if you haven't read them or want more time to review them, just shoot me an email or give me a call, and we can bring those questions to the policy committee.
Does anyone have any immediate questions?
I had one question about the days absent. Are those 15 consecutive days, or is that 15 days just in a quarter or a trimester, whatever we're doing now?
So it's there's five or more days in a trimester, I believe. I need to take a look at the exact language. But in terms of vacations, it's if you take consecutive 15 or
Okay.
more days,
Okay.
you know.
Perfect.
I'm just thankful that you're going to update the families. I think it's really important that we try to give families as much information and heads up as we can. You know, there's a lot of information. I mean, I'm very thankful that we'll have our new communication person, and there's a lot of effort that's going into the website, and I think that the more information we can give our families, the better tools they have to keep everyone moving.
Absolutely.
Thank you. So we don't need a vote on that because it's just the first reading.
Do we have to vote that it's the first read or no? The other ones did.
It didn't say.
The other one's good.
Maybe not, never mind.
I don't think we need to vote. If there's questions or whatever, the second reading was sort of adopting the policies as stated, so.
All right, moving on to the homeschool end of the year update, E.
So, so this is as according to our policy. Sorry, is that better?
Yes.
So as our policy dictates, the superintendent or designee will be providing each year, at the end of the school year, just an update of our homeschooling in terms of enrollment and just general information. So the memo that I have included shares with you that we have currently 44 students enrolled and approved in the homeschool program for the 25-26 school year. You can see that in the chart. It's broken down by school. Orleans having 7 students total. Right now they have 2 grade 1 students, 1 grade 2 student, 1 grade 3 student, and 3 grade 4 students. With the Nauset Regional Middle School having 13 students who are being homeschooled, and the Nauset Regional High School has 7 students that are being homeschooled, and again, for a total of 44 students in our district. Just a quick note that according to the homeschool law that governs these regulations, that it's really for students. We keep track of students who are between the ages of 6 through 16 in terms of requiring families to submit a homeschool plan. So a student that falls before the age of 6 or comes after 16 are not required, even though we do encourage our families to submit them if they do have students that go beyond that age. So we have just sent out requests for families to submit their progress reports for the 25-26 school year. As our policy indicates, we do not approve homeschool plans going forward until we receive a progress report that has been approved. Anything that is submitted to our office, I ensure to send families a letter indicated that their plans or their progress reports have been approved, or if there's any thing that is missing, we always reach out and ask for additional materials. And the plans for the 26-27 school year will be due to our office before the first day of school. I'm happy to take any questions about this.
Does anyone have any questions?
It's interesting that 6 to 16.
Yeah, because it's like the compulsory age of like when students have to, after 16, I think that you don't have to, with the parents' permission, you can withdraw from school.
Interesting.
And the before 6, because kindergarten is not mandated.
Right. And so as far as these students, do you know how many of these children are participate in any of like extracurricular or clubs or any of our?
Yeah, I don't know exactly. I can look up for lanes if anybody is taking advantage of that. I think it's more common at the middle school and high school level that we have students, but we always let families know, especially when they first enter the homeschooling process, that they have the rights to access special education services, and if any family indicates that they would like to explore that, I always make sure that our director of student services contacts the family, they set up a meeting, and then they have access to any after activities that we're offering in the schools, as well as they can actually opt to participate in school for some academics if they choose to. No student has been is participating in the academic spaces, but we do have, I know, for that take advantage of some of our sports and other activities. But I can give you more numbers of that if you're interested for.
No, I just wondered.
It's a good question.
Any other questions? Okay. Moving on to Vicky for the
Sorry.
curriculum review plan. It's exciting.
This is, well, I'm also equally excited about this one, but maybe it's just me, and this is why I'm in this position, right? So we have established a curriculum review cycle. There hasn't been one done for a couple of years, and we really felt that we needed to put together a comprehensive review cycle for our district. And there's numerous reasons for this. Not only does it kind of make sure that we can plan out and we are up to date in that we're using the most current curriculums in all of the subjects that we offer, K to 12, but that we also can plan out effectively how we are purchasing curriculums in terms of for fiscal balance, and as well as making sure that we're not adopting numerous curriculums at the same time that might be quite overwhelming for our teachers. So having a comprehensive plan really makes sure that we have kind of a checks and balances in that area. Curriculum reviews usually happen every 5 years. That is a pretty good span in terms of being able to have enough data to see how around student achievement between when the new curriculum has been adopted and how they are responding to the curriculum. And it also has been in line with how changes in terms of teaching and learning expectations that come from the state. So most districts do a 5-year review for their curriculums. In the memo, I've also linked a spreadsheet that the first tab kind of talks about the process in terms of how high-quality instruction is selected, how it is really driven by educators. I put together a working group of all the stakeholders to ensure that it's really a holistic approach, and it's a really great opportunity for us to kind of also reflect on our kind of teaching and how our students are responding. It doesn't always necessitate a new curriculum adoption, but sometimes we just need to maybe update some resources instead of doing a full, if we find that what we're using currently is effective. I've included, which is a DESE requirement, but it also, again, is just great practice, is that using specific tools to screen our curriculums for bias. And I've included the tools that are research and are widely used. The first one's called the Washington Model, which is really great for evaluating humanity curriculums. And the other one is one from New York that is really great for STEM curriculums. And as part of the DESE expectations, not only do we have to make sure that we do this process as part of our curriculum review cycles, but also review our materials on a yearly basis to ensure that they're free from bias and are using like our equitable and resources. And then the second tab of what was shared is basically the 7-year review plan. And it breaks down by year for each department and each level of when, again, the reviews are going to happen. For the 26-27 school year, we're going to review our science curriculum at all levels, K-12. We're going to continue reviewing our health curriculum that we started this year. And we're also going to take a look at our history and social sciences curriculum for the middle school and high school. Everything that if we as guided by our policies, all curriculum, new material will be presented to school committee for review and approval at the end of the cycle. And I will keep the committees updated throughout the process as well of where we are. And then this was asked us before, so I just wanted to bring your attention to it, that we do also review our achievement resources that we use. So district screeners such as like iReady is a tool that we use right now, or to do for math and ELA. Any mental health screeners, like anything that we use district-wide, is also part of this review cycle, and that has been scheduled for the 27-28 school year. Is there anything I missed with the policies? Anyone? Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? Thank you very much.
Sure.
Alrighty, now, Matt?
As Matt makes his way forward, if I may, there are a number of documents that are included in this packet that we're going to move into now regarding recent Department of Education activity within our district. And item G and H fall to both of those areas. And Matt's been hard at work in terms of putting together an update on where we're at. And we just thought that this was an important time period to make sure that our school committees are aware of these recent reports and what's next for us as a district.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. So first, we're going to look at the annual IDEA determination, what we affectionately refer to in central office as our special education report card. It looks at several different areas, including performance, compliance, and several other areas that are indicators that we have to annually upload information to. Since I've been here, I've noticed that Orleans consistently does reach the meets requirement rating, which is like getting an A on a report card. Is where you're supposed to be, is where you want to be. In looking at it specifically, certain things do not apply given that Orleans is just an elementary school. They're looking at pre-K, they're looking at graduation, dropout, and whatnot. Those don't apply. However, for example, fourth grade MCAS. It's a small population area. It's only 7 students last year that took that. In that, 3 of the 7 students met proficiency, which is where the district scored 42%, where the state target was 24. That's an excellent metric. Whereas in math, 1 of the 7 met it, so we were just a hair below the state expectation. That was the only area that we didn't get full credit for. All the other areas, the school and district scored everything that they should when it comes to child find, equitable services, the fact that there were not any PRS filings against the district for noncompliance, that the district met maintenance of compliance, maintenance of effort. So across the board, the department is looking at the district as it's doing what it's supposed to be doing and moving in the right direction, which is consistent for the last several years. I know it's very brief, but are there any questions on it?
Any questions?
Okay. The next section is a little bit more in-depth. It goes over the audit that we just had, which they refer to as the Integrated Monitoring Review. So the process started a year ago. A year ago, we had to upload many of our policy and procedure manuals. We had to provide staffing lists. We had to provide information and lists of students that had been identified as receiving interventions longer than 12 weeks. We had to upload schematics of every single building that service students, as well as indicating where speech and OT is provided, handicap accessibility, elevators. They were really looking at civil rights. Are students with disabilities receiving everything that their counterparts would equitably? So that started a year ago. Then over the course of this year, we continued to send more information to the department and work with our identified person that would be doing the audit themselves. Then in April, they came and we toured every single one of our buildings, met every principal, looked at, Vicki was with me, it was a long day of walking many, many steps, over 10,000, making sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. For example, we do not put signs over special ed teachers' doors indicating that it's special education. It's not identifying or stigmatizing. Again, looking at civil rights. After that, the department looked at all the results and gave us a preliminary findings report, which we had 5 days to give any rebuttals to. Following that, we were issued 1 special education and 5 civil rights areas to address with what they refer to as a corrective action plan. That corrective action plan is due to be uploaded to the state on June 25th, and then we have 1 calendar year from then to fully implement it. So within the full report, there are 11 special ed areas that they looked at in depth, but only 1 got flagged. Honestly, going through these kind of in-depth audits, that's very good. And within civil rights, there are 18 specific items that they looked at. 5 got flagged. Now, when I say they get flagged, much of it is to do with just policy and procedure, getting things updated with the way the Department of Ed wishes to have their current language publicly posted. So we started to create a cheat sheet so that people could see what that actually means. So the actual corrective action plan will be much more in depth. But for the first one, the special education, SE 51, what it comes down to is the Department of Ed is requiring all pre-K teachers that teach students with disabilities be duly licensed, early education and special education. That is something that was implemented several years ago, but speaking to my peers in other districts, it's a really challenging thing to find licensed pre-K teachers that are also licensed special education teachers. So we have 1 year to address this. We've already made several steps in the right direction, and we only have 1 teacher that we currently are making a plan for to get them duly licensed long before the corrective action is actually due. Now, within civil rights, as mentioned before at this meeting, many of the policies that are continually getting updated, the updates, the requirements for update are also driven by the Department of Ed and what they look for. And for example, on several of these, CR10, the handbooks don't include all disciplinary procedures. The Department of Ed continues to redefine how disciplinary procedures are categorized and who must do what. So these are all things that need to be continuous work in progress. This audit cycle happens every 6 years, and it's about that time frame that requirements do change. CR10, we've had a bullying policy in place for quite some time, but they want a separate bullying plan, the action plan, the steps, who does what. They were more embedded. They're just asking for a separation. CR17, physical restraint plan, similar. We've had a physical restraint policy and practices in place for a long time, but the actual plan of the mechanism of who does what, reports it to whom, when physical reports go back to parents, who's responsible for what actions, just created in an actual central document. CR24 actually in alignment with what Vicki was already starting, the curriculum review process, ensuring that all of our curriculum is on an annual, every 5-year cycle to be refreshed with current best practices. And in turn with that, CR25, the self-evaluation process of teachers. This is something that has not been at the forefront for several years, but making sure that teachers are consistently, more than annually, looking at, is there anything that promotes bias within what they're teaching, from what's on their walls to who's in the pictures in their books to the topics itself. It is a process that just needs to get embedded in practice and goes along with the curriculum review cycle. So you see that the civil rights items are more policy-driven, and the special education one was a licensure issue. So in my opinion, all in all, we did very well for this cycle. But obviously, there's things that keep on top of and keep current with special education requirements from the state. Questions?
Any questions?
The action plan's awesome. It just spells it all out pretty nice. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. It's you, Beth.
Oh, hi.
FY26 budget.
Yes, so this is officially day 6. So, and I found out on day 5 that I will be doing this whirlwind tour this week to visiting all of the towns, and I'm very excited to be here and happy to present today. What you have in front of you today is the school expenditure report through May 31st. So I just used the same format that Paul and the team have used throughout this year for consistency purposes. So I'm sure as I get to day 10 or 15, I might maybe make some changes going forward with the committee's approval. But everybody has their own style, and this seems to be working so far for everyone. To be honest, if you have any questions as you're looking through this or want some more information based on what you're seeing, please flag it for me. I will go back and do further research and get back to the committee with anything that they would like more information on, because clearly I need a little more time to research it myself. Really where we are is that we're getting ready to look at all of the budgets and the reports and get ready to close out FY26. So as we go into June, we're going to be looking at the accounts and making sure that they are ending in a positive balance and cleaning that up for year end and the close procedure, and really getting ready to open and load our FY27 budgets. So there's plenty of time to continue to answer questions and close these out, and I'm assuming I'll come back with a final report or a closeout report, whether, I'm not sure what the meeting schedule looks like, but if not, definitely open with that in the fall.
Does anyone have any questions? I have a couple, but do you want to go?
I just wanted to get up to speed on what monies we're gonna get from the special education fund.
Right.
So I'm sure you're gonna address it though, so.
So what I do, I have a cheat sheet here from Paul.
All right.
So he did say
Is it poetry or is it actual real information?
it could be either. And maybe you'll have something different, but what he said to me was to note that there would be $138,000 from the Special Ed Stabilization Fund. He did say the principal could help me if I needed it. So that really the Orleans should be 90,000 to the good after May. And I don't know if anybody else wants, but it looks to me like the discussion was that the plan was to spend that on iPads for some funding for iPads going forward.
So kind of true. So the 138,000 special ed stabilization fund money is strictly just for special ed.
Correct.
So that 138,000 is not currently here. I mean, it's here, but not,
It hasn't been booked.
It hasn't been-
Yes, so that'll be one of the entries
Right.
I'll be making to clear it.
right, so that actually has nothing, we won't be using them for iPads.
No, no,
but-
no, when you are in a positive position.
Okay.
You'll be using that funding for, no, this will specifically go to.
Okay.
Special ed related costs.
Well, we'll look forward to that coming to fruition. And what about, did he make a note about the town IDA money? So the towns got that IDA money, not us. So is that showing in here?
I'm going to guess not yet, so I think I'll have to also make some moves with that funding.
Okay. So right now, we're not in a negative where we have been living for a while. And this 38,000, so our special ed transportation, you know, we feel like we'll be on the better side.
So we're allowed to use it to cover the transportation costs and the out-of-district tuition.
With the special,
ed, out-of-district tuition, transportation, and tuition costs.
yes,
That specialized fund will cover it, those monies will cover that.
yes.
What's that total number? 138?
138,000 is what we got approved, that we removed all that money from the stabilization fund to go into this. Because the total amount that for our special ed costs was 100 and, do you remember? 140,
I was just looking.
So I see the 242,000 expended year-to-date, programs with other school systems? $259,682? No.
no.
No, that's, special, it was, right now it says that we spent 71.
Yeah, so that's,
Thousand and, I think 24 I just saw for transportation, but I.
Elaine, can you speak into the mic? I can't hear you.
Just referring to this, Beth,
Yes.
I'm looking at it, and it, right now indicates that we've spent for collaborative tuition, 71,000. And
I see out-of-district transportation right now with the encumbered at 45,700.
and the tuition is 71.
So the tuition is 71. So those two numbers added up is not 138,000.
No, we didn't have enough in the stabilization fund to cover that.
Has any, we talked last time about the 15,000, has that been
So we
applied?
got extraordinary relief of, I don't have that number in front of me.
Covered the portion of the transportation and,
Well, that could go towards the transportation. That had to be used by the end of June. Has that been used?
It will be, that's
That's
another
my-
one, so I'm
yeah, that's
writing
my question.
extraordinary.
We have basically, we kind of just have to pause and know that 138,000 has not been distributed yet. The extraordinary relief of roughly 15-something is not being distributed yet. And I'd like to know what's happening with the IDA money.
Correct, so I will,
so in the future, as these like monies come in for like a special stabilization fund, can we somehow note or see this in the budget when it comes in? Because right now it's just sort of this nebulous, I don't know where the monies were applied or what.
well, they haven't been yet, so.
Well, I understand, yeah, that.
So usually it would be, see on that last sheet where it says extraordinary relief, 0, special education stabilization, 0.
Zero, yep.
Usually that's, or the IDA, all that grant information or state monies are usually right there. So they just are nowhere yet.
Okay.
So we'll get once,
So our total cost for tuition this year, fully encumbered, special education collaborative tuition was $71,000.
plus tuition,
That's
plus transportation,
So
excuse me.
71,000 plus the transportation that I see listed here, $45,000.
Yes. It
So-
was 140-something.
Well, that doesn't equal 140.
Well, what are-
71,000 plus
what are we missing?
45,000
We're
is
missing
not
something.
140.
I think we'd have to go double check the earlier numbers and talk to Beth about, because these seem like something shifted
Yeah, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah.
I'm asking here is because those two numbers don't add up to $138,000. So we're,
So this is just the change from April to May. So again, this is, you know.
I know you're just I'm not,
It's
I know
totally
you just
fine.
walked in the door. I'm not, certainly not.
This is very helpful, though, for
Yeah.
me about what you are looking for and how you would like to see the information going further, because I'm usually I'm looking for year-to-date plus change and a variance, and then I'd be explaining to you what those variances are, which is in essence what you're asking.
Yes.
I'm following this format because it's what people were used to, but I hear what you're saying. And
Yep.
so I will work to make sure that I can answer these questions in a more, in a way that I hear that you're looking for, if that's helpful.
Because, yeah, right now, there's still like a difference of $21,000 there. That is sort of just,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm sure it's needed, so I will figure out where the other one
I'm sure it was, yeah.
is.
Yep.
So we'll just, even though this is our last school meeting of the year, we will get an update. And and if the committee feels like they want to have a little pop-up to have an end-of-the-year discussion so that we are all on the same page, we can certainly do that. We'll just give Beth an opportunity to look at these numbers. I'll give you all the numbers I have, because I don't have them right in front of me, regarding, what we spent. Because Elaine, Gail, and I did have to send, you probably have it right there, don't you? In a shocking turn of events, Gail Breer's here.
I don't have the exact figures, but I can tell you that the out-of-district transportation was 69,000.
Yeah.
All right, and the tuition was $71,009. All right, so the total came up to $143,009. Previously, we had put in $138,000 into the Special Ed Stabilization Fund. So we approved up to that amount. I think it was in our April meeting, and then Sassy and I went to the select board in May, and the select board approved the $138,000. So it was short a little bit.
Yep.
The other thing that I wanted to mention was that Title I is the other one that needs to be looked at.
Yes, not IDA.
It wasn't the
Title I.
IDEA. Title I it had a different way of sending the money this year. Instead of coming to the district, it went to the town. So there needs to be some communication with the town in terms of how that Title I money is going to be put back into this account. And if you would like to meet with Sassy and myself, I've got a lot of information on it, and we'd be happy to help you sort through this with your questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gailey.
Gail.
See, just right there.
It's
A little
wonderful.
Gailey pie.
Wonderful. We'll take all the help we can get. I did also hear that, I believe it was this community, but we were making some changes in how we allocated to Title I, because we want to make sure that we are not using those funds for the 9% amount that you also, if you put a staff member in there and there was a 9% MTRS, so we would, instead of using a teacher or a professional licensed person, we would end up using maybe paraprofessional salaries, so we can save on that extra 9%. Goes further.
Cool, yeah.
That sounds
Good idea.
So, right now, this is where we know there's a lot of questions, and I'm sure Gail and I could definitely meet with you, and we have, I just don't have that email with me with all the breakdown, but, and then, like I said, if you guys would like a pop-up meeting, so that we could just make sure, after a very confusing year, that we're all on the same page, I'd happy to do that, too. Any other questions?
Yeah, if we, just so we can have some clarity for if there is a pop-up, that we could see the funds that came from, the special, the extraordinary circumstances, what those funds were, where they were applied, the town stabilization fund monies, where those went to. I'd like to just see what line items they go to, where it was reduced. Because, our administration did an incredible job. We're looking at, the bottom of our budget, and we're, in the negative $60,000. The line item above that is negative $71,000 just for the tuition. So kudos to you, Elaine, to get that, down to, that's incredible. It would just be nice to see, because there was a lot of other places it got taken from and moved from, and, it would be nice to see the end of it, so, thank you.
Happy to do that. All right, where's my agenda? Okay, approval of gifts and fundraising. Do we have any to approve?
I don't think it's made it all the way through yet. but
Okay.
Just can I make a comment on that since it's last meeting?
Yes.
I don't have it in front of me because wasn't on our agenda, but it's over $8,000 Orleans Conservation Trust has provided to Orleans elementary school teachers. A big chunk of that is for a story walk that's going to go into Bowen Pond that is directed by Carrie Ewan, amongst a few other grant proposals. It's an enormous gift, and it's very much appreciated. And just to remind everyone that Orleans Conservation Trust offers this to teachers and really asks them to be the drivers of these activities. They're educator initiated, so they're truly connected to the opportunities they want to provide for students at OES. And it's just extremely generous. We didn't have it ready tonight yet, but just to recognize their contributions, it's huge. So, thank you, OCD.
That's awesome.
I did sign it today. It's headed back to the school.
Reports and information. Do we have any end-of-the-year reports? Anybody? Well, PTC continuing to be an extraordinary group of parents and celebrating kids and teachers in the building and staff. They're extraordinary, so we're forever thankful. Future agenda items. Anybody? No one's wondering about anything? All right, maybe we'll move to approval of minutes. Did anyone get a chance to review April 13th and May 18th?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes as read for April 13th and May 18th.
I'll second.
Second?
Yeah.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Abstain.
One abstain by Ron. All right, next meeting dates. So right now, we'll communicate with Beth and get some more information with Elaine. We'll all get together and try to figure this end of the year out. So maybe we'll send a poll and see what you guys would like to do.
Sounds good.
And then if anything comes up in the summer, or if there's anything you want to get more information about, the preschool, there's a lot going on currently, and lots of exciting things led in partnership with central office, so it's exciting times, I think, for our district. So stay tuned. Anybody else have anything else to say? Adjournment, anyone?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.